right now you're checking as they're coming over the blue line. Okay, what are his options? You know, his only options are to shoot it or to pass the guy. This guy's going to be on his offside, so you want to try to get there on your feet. Obviously, depending on where the puck gets passed, but if he's going to pass it right there, it's like 100% you should get there on your feet. You should.
Sorry, when you say it's on his offhand, sorry.
On his one-timer side.
Right. Okay, that's what I was gonna say. And so you know you have time because it has to come across his body.
And then I can't really see where I'm at. Let me see. So
heels, little heels, about heels out.
Yeah, so I'm pretty far. Like this is pretty aggressive, but a lot of it's because of how close they are. You know, together. Like I'm not really gonna have to be going super lateral or anything like that. And obviously here he is pulling and shooting, and so now you see I'm in a fully locked in stance, like he's shooting it, you know. And Bedard's tough. I was watching video on him before I played the first game. He's a guy who pulls it like crazy when he shoots it, but he can go either way. You know, he can pull it in and shoot it short side, or he can pull it in and shoot it far side too. And it's very hard to read. And so one thing I didn't like here is I told myself I wasn't gonna do this, is like you can't guess any side. And so you see, I saw him pull it in, and my momentum is kind of pushing towards the other way that he shot it at.
Yeah, I see it.
Which I wasn't a huge fan of. And so you could see me sliding. It ended up working out really well for me. But one thing I like to do and I actually learned this from Pecorine, is when they shoot it on the ice, especially like on a 2-on-1 on your glove side, I like to do a lot of scooping with my glove and trying to kill the play, instead of like using my stick, because my stick isn't the greatest, especially on my glove side. And so I find that because you're already so focused on trying to react with your glove, that if they shoot it low, you can kind of trap it and kind of kill the play and just scoop it up. But my stick gets in the way here, actually. Right. And I end up passing it right to him, which isn't ideal. But again, it helps to have that visual attachment, because it's like pucks are going to take weird bounces and be a little bit funky. So it takes that weird bounce, goes right back to him, but my eyes are right on it. And then it's just a simple little push and seal because of how close he is. And then boom, like that's it. And then you're still watching it. And then, that's it. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where you stand up to transition to that RVH. It just makes things a little bit easier, quicker, and cleaner.
I was going to say, that's a really smooth, like bang, bang, right back into the post.
Because, you know, like instead of like, if you find yourself outside the net, some guys like, they'll like push back and then push into the post. Or they'll do a really big spin and then lock and then do a really big spin back. And it's like just a lot of inefficient movement where I think you're letting yourself be vulnerable to certain things. And I find when you stand up and just a quick little transition, it just makes things a lot cleaner.
You know, I mean, you might not like this, but okay. I mean, but at the same time, there's a coach I know that would call this an insurance play. Like, you say so lucky, but if you put yourself in a position where you've given yourself the margin for error.
Yes, that's a great way to say it. It's an insurance play. I mean, the puck actually, so the guy in the corner tries to center it, and it hits the top of the net.
I was wondering the way you ducked. Yeah, okay, so I'll walk it through. So it goes to the corner off the M boards.
It goes to the corner. He tries to sling it straight to the front of the net right now, and I thought it was going to hit me in the back, so that's why I tried to let it go over me. But it just ends up where it does. The reason I say this is so lucky is, like, I'm totally with you. This is like textbook, like, okay, get wide, get square. You don't know where the puck is. Let's just try to make myself as big as possible situation.
Right.
But I did get super lucky because this is like one of those where it's like things are working well for it. This was also an amazing pass by Chucky here. That was crazy.
Yeah, between his legs and then between your defenseman's legs. That's pretty good.
That's pretty, one touch off the back of the net. But like, for how many holes and like how many places this could have gone and just like rattled through me, I did end up in a pretty good spot.
I was gonna say, yeah.
But no, I look at this and I'm like, this is pretty lucky, to be honest with you.
But if you don't track that puck across behind the net, get rotation, hit your toe skate lace, and have that seal, it would go right back to the way you set up your pads to be able to get into that position.
Well, and then if you go back to the principle like we talked about last time, it's just like, okay, if I'm square, I'm giving myself a very good chance. Like
Right.
if I'm square to the shot, no matter how my body is or how it's positioned, I'm giving myself probably an 85% chance to stop every single shot.
Right.
And so that's kind of how I look at it. The percentages like that.
I've started, and this is a learning experience, is anytime they go for a reset, which is just what we call when D's got at the point and he rims it back.
Yeah.
We'll call that like a reset.
Okay.
Anytime the puck goes for a reset and it's going behind the net, unless I am 100% sure that there is no one behind the net, I think it's just safer to go into like your post anchor, whatever you call it, the split. And that is because I've gotten scored on that too many times where I've stayed up, and so now it's just like, let's just be safe. I got scored on that in the playoffs and overtime.
It's almost like risk management. Risk management.
Exactly, it's risk. Exactly what it is, risk management. Because if you're up, and that guy literally got scored on this play 2 or 3 times, and as soon as you're looking, and as soon as you go to look to the other side, he grabs it and he wraps it. So I think it's safer, and I've talked with Curtis about it, just to be down like that, be in that safe position, and that's almost like a good starting point for those plays when it's behind the net like that.
Okay, so as it transitions, again, as soon as it comes, that's where you're talking about you switch into a toe lock as it comes to one side, and then again that you've always got that edge, which allows you to do this.
It's very dependent on the play. Like there, I stay skate.
Oh, is there skate? Okay, it's hard to
because
see.
So you can see, anytime I'll have my glove like that where it's covering that hole.
Okay, so that means you're on skate.
That means I'm in skate on. So I'm just doing that.
That's a Bassy thing too, right? He's another guy that uses that.
Yeah, that glove's good at covering that hole. But yeah, just because I know he's probably making a play out of it, right? Like we have a good pressure, so he's probably not going to get a good attempt at picking a hole.
So you're
for
safe,
a shot, right? He's either going to go to the middle or he's going out. So I'm almost.
You don't need to go toe lock
to the next play.
Gotcha.
Right? Like he's not going to do something at the net probably. So it's just that skate on gives me a better push out. So I just stayed in that.
And from there, it's just eyes and up to track to it.
And that gives me the ability to, get out on that play.
I think we get it again from the. Again, my hips hurt just watching it. I'm a little jealous, but it's an important move at this level.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, being able to. Those guys are so good. I'll watch Thatch tonight, and he's unbelievable at that play. Like, it's just so effortless and quick at the same time. So.
Getting into it's one thing. It's the transitions out that are probably even more important for you guys.
Right.
How much time you spend on that?
Fair amount. Yeah.